Well, good morning. We're just a shade after 8:30. It's a Friday morning, the 28th of February, and back down the day to get water for what will be the last session before the campaign trial starts again down the new water. Set of rods there to my left, reason being Mr. Copson's in the swim to the left, and not for the first time in recent visits with the only anglers here. Got the entire place to ourselves. No doubt you can hear the pitter patter from the raindrops on the top of the brolly. Absolutely pouring it down the rain again, but the weatherman tells us that it is supposed to clear around about 10-11 o'clock. So we did have plans to have a go on the small lake over the back there, but to be brutally honest with you, the way the weather is this morning, what we decided to do is we're going to jump in the same swims that we did in the previous 2 or 3 sessions, see how it goes. Mark's been round there and primed a few spots up on the small lake, and if the weatherman is correct and things are a bit slow on here, we're going to move over there a bit later on today. So that's another option. But just to set the scene for you at the moment, obviously it's raining, there's mud everywhere. We're putting into practice the same tactics that we have all winter down here, which is snowman presentation, small bags. I've actually just spommed out a couple of spomfuls of chopped boilie on the left hand rod, and that rod's fished right in the middle of the gap there between the island and the bank, and I've got my right hander towards that far margin. So we're looking for signs. We haven't seen a single fish crash, stick his head out, do nothing. It's been pretty grim, but we've only been here for I say just over an hour, so it's early days, and as I say, you've got to be in it to win it. So that's a brief opener to this blog. Fingers crossed it's going to be more productive than it was in the previous session. I think Mark had 3, 2 of them was on the zigs. I might be wrong, it might have been all 3, I can't remember, to be quite honest. I know I absolutely worked my socks off and tried everything I possibly could to try and make something happen, but the old carp fishing syndrome kicked in and just didn't happen. But you know, that's the way it goes. There's plenty of fish in here, as I've said in previous blogs. Not massive. I think there's 1 or 2 20s that have appeared before, but the majority of fish in here are all around about 6 or 7 pound. But a perfect venue to come and try and get some rod bending action in the colder months. So fingers crossed that is what's going to happen today. So there we go, folks. Time for a brew, I think, so we'll catch up with you shortly.
Well, folks, look at this one. It's only been in the water an hour and Matt's got a minter.
Yeah, chuffed to bits. It was the shade on the 16, was it, Mark?
Yeah, that was right. It was 15-14 exactly.
Had what I thought was a liner. Bobbin pulled up. Watched the light, the bobbin for a bit, nothing happened. Slackened the line off again. Went back under the brolly and he's pulled up tight again. I've pulled into it, tip's gone over, and it was a real plodding, lethargic fight, which I didn't get too excited about, because this time of the year obviously the fish are not that active, but it rose to the surface, mate, and we both thought
that's a good one.
That's a good one, isn't it? And just a shade under £16. It's made the effort and all the prep beforehand well worth it on a day like today.
It certainly is.
And the rain's absolutely teeming it down.
Yeah, but it's the biggest fish you've definitely had for the last 3 or 4 sessions we've had down here.
Certainly, mate. It's made up for the last, what was a
gruel. Really tried hard as well, didn't you?
But this one's on the CM2 bottom bait with a little fluoro CM1 pop up on a snowman rig. And instead, this was the one over bait, which I spommed out with my new spom around about 45 minutes ago, so delighted.
Your new spom's done you the business.
Just a shame it's a bit tatty on the tail and the dorsal's knocked about.
Looks like something's either cut it off or braid has sliced through the end of his tail. Unfortunately, it's a very clean cut. It doesn't look like it's natural, but, unfortunately.
He's a bit of a bruiser, this one, but very welcome, and it's
Certainly
made
is.
my day.
Okay then, mate.
Fantastic. We'll get some stills, and
Yep.
hopefully this is the start of a few, mate.
Yep, let's hope.
Great stuff.
Well, there you go, folks. He's struck again.
Yep, another species this time, a mirror carp.
Beautiful little fish, that one.
Absolutely lovely. Same rod, and this one absolutely rattled off. Once again, topped the swim with a few more spawnfuls of chops. So, are they responding to the bait, or the freebies, or is it the spot? I don't know. The right hand rod, I ain't had a touch on that. So I think that's due for a recast and try and possibly move that in a different area. But yeah, lovely.
Yeah,
Second
well,
fish of the session, and the conditions are getting worse. I think it's getting colder, mate.
it is. It's dropped down to 2 degrees air temperature, according to the phone. So it's certainly not very carpy, but you're still managing to winkle a couple out.
Yeah, which is nice. A bit lively this one. I left it in the retainer sling whilst I can get my rod back out. So I'll attempt to try and pick it up for you again.
Yeah, you have to make the most of short time feeding this time of the year. You could get 2 or 3 quick successions, so you must get the rod back out before we mess around.
This,
Yeah, really nice. So, incidentally, I haven't had no indications yet. So, Matt's obviously got a little spot rocking out there, and I think we're going to have to call him the Spawn Man if this continues.
Spawn Man. I'll attempt to try and pick this fish up. It's like a bar of soap, as you say.
Yep.
But delighted. 2 bites now.
That's it.
Your turn next, mate. Come on.
Certainly kicked off the New Year in style, mate.
Superb, yeah.
Great.
Right then, a quick update, folks. It's just after 12:30. Pleased to say that the rain stopped, and we haven't had any rain now for a good hour. And it appears, we haven't done a reading yet of the air temperature, but it feels like it's perked up a bit, the old temperature. So things are looking a bit good on the, or vast improvement I should say, on the weather front. We've had a few new arrivals. A couple of lads have gone on the small lake, and typical, they've gone and jumped in the swim which Mark baited up earlier. So he was debating on a move, but I think he's decided to stay put. And some more good news, Mark's bagged another one. So he's had 2 now. I've had a bream, so I'm on 3. Common mirror and a skimmer, but just moved the right hand rod where that laddie's over there. Where is he? There. Where the bin is. I got a rod there for most of the morning. I had 1 liner, but nothing happened, so I've literally slipped it the other side of the left-hander, and that one's fished on the Bonhoffend. And I've done the same as what I've been doing on the left-hand rod, which is spomming. I've got the spom out and chopped a few baits up, so I went out with the spom, the first one, lovely, and then I went out with the second one to move it slightly to the right, and on the retrieve of that one going out, a carp hawked right out the water over the spot, so that really did give me some confidence. So I think Mark said he's going to stay put now, being those 2 lads have turned up. And he's had a couple of fish, as I say. His fish starting to show, so things are looking good. Yep, confident of some more action. Lovely. Well, Marky Mark's had a change of heart. He said he was going to remain on the big lake for the duration of the session, but I don't know, he did tell me that he baited 2 spots, so I only thought he baited the 1. So it's just gone 20 to 2. I think he said he's going to give it till about 3 o'clock over there. So there he is, his landing net, his pod and a bag of bait, and he's off for a few hours on the little lake. So let's wish him all the best. if he does manage to bag one, anything half decent, I can reel in and I'll whip round and go and investigate and see what it's all about. So there you go, Mark. Have a nice afternoon. Apologies for the shaky camera work, but I managed to get Mark in the shot from where I'm fishing on the big lake, and within minutes he's into a carp. So they've obviously got the heads down on the grub that he put in around about 8:30 this morning. I just caught it from the corner of my eye, a nice bit of carbon sticking in the air, of bending it, and Marky Mark's got one on. So good angling, sir. We'll just remain with the footage just as he dips the net. So the fish in there are slightly bigger than the ones in this lake, so who knows, you might have something on a bit half decent here. Good bit of angling though. Things weren't happening to the max on the big lake. He had those 2 fish, but he wasn't completely happy, and he's made another opportunity for himself by moving, and he's gone and bagged one. So well done, Marcus.